Florida playing its first game since firing Billy Napier. Another Billy steps in. Billy Gonzalez steps in as the interim head coach. A new Billy in town. He's been there for a long time. First game under interim head coach Billy Gonzalez. His first test, the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. First quarter, Florida down 7-0. DJ Lagway connects with Eugene Wilson, the third 40-yard scoring strike. Gators tied at 7. Chomp, chomp. Wilson, 9 catches for 121 yards and the touchdown. Early third, now tied at 10. Gunnar Stockton to Noah Thomas. 22-yard touchdown. Georgia takes the lead up 17-10. Bulldogs the first to score in the second half. Ensuing Gators possession, Jaden Ball punches it in, and we are tied once again at 17. Gators would hit a 54-yard field goal on their next drive to go up 20-17. Late fourth quarter, after stopping Florida on 4th down, the Dogs capitalized. Chauncey Bowens, 36 yards. Bulldogs go on to win it 24-20. They're now 3-1 this season when trailing in the fourth quarter. I mean, they are just the definition of a second-half team, and they got to be careful because they might get clipped here late in the season playing this kind of football, but tough to go on the road and play against Florida. But this game was played in Jacksonville, but still tough to go play Florida anywhere, especially the way their defense is playing. Now, there is something to note here. Florida freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson, one of their standout players, dealing with a foot injury. He was taken to the locker room. He was the subject of a targeting penalty that saw KJ Bolden ejected from this game. Another tough blow to the Florida wide receiver room. Already down Vernell Brown III, Aiden Mizell coming into this game. So Florida, with their interim head coach, they come up short. Georgia able to hang on 24-20, their 5th straight win against Florida for the first time since winning 6 straight from the late 70s to the early 80s. CBS Sports HQ presented by Belfour Property Restoration. Back here with Beanie Wells and Ben DiNucci. And look, Georgia, if they mess around, they're about to find out, because this Florida team is, they're trying to spoil seasons right now, right?
No question.
It's a lost season for them as they fire Billy Napier, and Georgia they've been looking like this for a lot of the season, this second-half team, and fortunately for them, it doesn't bite them today.
Yeah, but they're going to have to figure out a way to play 4 quarters of football, because at some point in time, it will come back to bite them in the butt. When you go back and you look at Georgia since 2018, with the exception of the 22 season, there's been a late season loss. So they're about due coming up on that late season loss. We know they lost one early in the year. They got a tough schedule the rest of the way that they need to get by. Mississippi State won't be a cakewalk. Texas looks rejuvenated and galvanized like a completely different football team. You're getting much better play from Arch Manning. And then Georgia Tech. Haynes King and Brent Key, we know that game last season went to 8-9 overtimes, how many ever. Georgia has to play better. Now, kudos to them for winning a tough game in a tough environment. Anytime you're playing a rivalry game, it's always going to be a little bit difficult, and today was no different.
It was a little bit of expected, right? Georgia coming off of a bye week, maybe a little bit of a rust. You've got to expect with Florida, a new head coach, that's going to give that team a jolt, that locker room a jolt, right? So you would like, this Georgia team to be playing its best ball in November, right? And that's kind of historically what they've always done. We're used to seeing a really good defense, an offense that's formidable. And so Gunnar Stockton, this last month of the year, take control of this team, take ownership. Don't play down to the level of your opponent. Let's go see you win some games, assert yourselves early. I know they're a second-half team. I'd like to see them start a little bit faster too, right? Georgia, this is a team we're used to seeing play from ahead, get out to these fast starts. So let's get back to that a little bit, Georgia. Get this thing going. Like you said, they've got Georgia Tech, they've got Texas coming down the stretch, and they've got Mississippi State next week, who we know is looking to end somebody's season too. So by no stretch is this Georgia team in this. They're not done yet. They've got to finish really, really strong in November, and they've got to play their best ball coming up.
Think if they do lose, how much that opens everything back up in the SEC.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, so many teams' hopes are still going to be alive in terms of getting to the college football playoff.
Ben, where do they need to improve? Because if you talk about being a second-half team, you can't carry that narrative into the college football playoff. You can't go, we're a second-half team. Like, they had us in the first, right? Like the whole meme, like they had us in the first. Like, we got to cut that out here when we're in November now.
I think when it comes down to it, they're finding ways to win, and it's easier said than done. We're up here talking about these guys for a reason. They're the ones playing. But when you look at this Georgia team, I think I would just like it to look a little bit different. I think this point in the season, playing a Florida team who hasn't been playing very consistent, you would like it to feel a little bit more dominating today, right? They were 7 of 15 on third down. Florida was 2 of 11. And then they still only managed to win the game by 4 points. They got a late 4th-and-1 stop there in the fourth quarter. So, I don't know, start a little bit faster. It's always easier said than done. But, Georgia, let's come out of the gates a little bit better.
When Georgia's looked good over the last couple of weeks, it's been because of their running game. They were averaging like 200 yards plus in their run game. And today, 138 yards. Now, they did win the rushing battle in terms of versus Florida, but just still not enough to get you over the hump in terms of looking dominant, imposing your will on that football team. Because we all know when you're an offense and you're dominant in the trenches, you're dominant running the football, that's demoralizing to a defense. That's allowing you to sustain drives. That's allowing you to tire out that defense and keep them out there on the field and you to win a time of possession battle. So that's something that we want to see from Georgia if they are going to be a team that, we all think they can be with Kirby Smart, and a team that can get to the college football playoff or potentially make a national championship run.
Well, they won the game. That's all that matters at the end of the day, right? Kirby Smart, hey, we found a way to win. They are now 3-1 this season when trailing in the fourth quarter, and that's 46 straight wins against unranked teams. And they've got one coming up against an unranked team on the road at Mississippi State before playing at home against Texas, a massive game there. For the Gators, they fall to 3-5, tied for their worst 8-game start to a season since 1980. Going to look to get a new head coach in there and resuscitate that program in the offseason.